Hi everyone, Pattaya Owl here. Swaddy Cap, Sabaydi Mai. Hope you're well. Well, it's time for another vlog, a cheeky mid-week vlog. And the title on this one is Should I Have Stayed in Pattaya? Let's go through it. Roll the intro. Oh. And it's been a question I've been putting off. I wanted, of course, to get through the weeks and the months. And it's been almost 5 months being back in the UK from my attempted move to Pattaya, Thailand, where I was out there for 2 months, pretty much run out of funds. That's it. It's been 5 months, and I think now is a good time to analyse that. Because it's been 5 months, but also I'm on the eve, easy for me to say, the eve of the next trip to Pattaya. Okay, not the night before, not like Christmas Eve, but literally a couple of weeks, and then I make the return. The owl makes his return to Pattaya, so it seems like a good time to analyse and answer the question. Now, I say a lack of funds, but it's more to do with a lack of income, and I could see where it was going. So the pot wasn't completely empty, but I was earning £1,000 a month and spending around about £2,700 a month in Pattaya, making the most of everything it's got to offer and the entertainment. So there was a deficit from memory. I have done vlogs on the figures of around about £1,700 per month. So I certainly learnt from that I couldn't just live on my YouTube. Now, of course, if the channel got bigger, who knows? I was getting around 250,000 views within a 28-day period to get that £1,000 per month. So who knows? Could it have grown? We'll analyse it in a little bit more detail. And of course, I'll answer that question. Should I have stayed in Pattaya as well? Just before we do, I just want to give a big shout out to the cave, the place where the meetup nights are going to be. And of course, the next one is going to be Friday the 3rd of October at 8 p.m. at the cave. And a big thank you for the cave contacting me today, asking if they'd like to make it a bit of a party, put on a bit of food. And I even mentioned I'd really like to get some bangers from Time Bar, and they're going to pick that up for me. They're going to speak to Time Bar and get the bangers for the meetup night on the 3rd of October. And they even said, "Oh, Owl, have you got a picture of the banger that you would like us to get?" And I said, "Of course, I made a vlog on it. Here's the picture. Take a look." Much love to the cave. Thank you very much. So just onto the YouTube side of things. If I was there, I genuinely believe things would have continued to increase. Would the revenue have increased to a point where it would be paying me a few grand a month? I will never, ever know. I just went with the analytics, my gut feel. I was pumping out a lot of content, and the numbers were increasing. I think it was around 20,000 watch hours, 250,000 views within a 28-day period, £1,000 revenue, 1,000 new subscribers within a 28-day period. So it was, yeah, the momentum was definitely there, and I'm hoping to get that back on the trip and hoping to build up. And we'll see how that one plays out. But looking at the numbers, I think I'd have to do a lot to achieve this £3,000 a month plus to live comfortably out there the way I want to live out there. And fair play to everyone that does it on YouTube and earns enough on YouTube to do that. And of course, a lot of people who do it have not only got that, they've got other revenue streams, other interests, which I haven't got. So for the last 5 months, I've been knuckling down, earning, saving, putting myself in a position where I can go to Pattaya in October, in just a couple of weeks, and again in January. So I've earned more money than I was doing on YouTube. So money-wise, that's kind of paid off and will continue to do so as it stands. Who knows, as I said a minute ago, the heights I could have gone on YouTube for living in there and creating videos. Would it have got to 2, 3, 4,000? And who knows? What I do know is the channel is still very much Pattaya. Of course, now it's me having trips to Pattaya as it stands, as opposed to living out there. And we're still growing, and I'm excited to see where the channel can go on the next trip. Can we even do bigger numbers than we've ever done before? Only time will tell on that one. So that one was at the top of the list, money and financial security. So definitely earning more in England, spending less on entertainment, more money in the savings, less pressure financially. It always helps when that income is coming in and you're not spending crazy amounts having fun in Pattaya every single day. So a big tick there. And of course, I'm still earning on YouTube. Yes, it's not £1,000 a month. It's less than that. It's around about a few £100 and increasing as we get nearer to the trip. And I'm very grateful for that. I mean, a few £100. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy making the vlogs. Of course, it probably works out about £1 an hour, but I enjoy it and I love the community of owls we've now got. And just to finish off on YouTube, of course, I will share with you my analytics when I'm out there after a week, show you the differences in the viewing figures and all of that good stuff. Like I've done from the start of the channel, I don't mind telling you exactly how much I've earned, how many people have viewed, etc. And just a big shout out to any kind of people out there, person thinking of starting a YouTube channel. Perhaps you've started one recently. Go for it. You know, what I would say, one piece of advice is just be yourself and be original. Don't try and copy anyone. It doesn't look great and people can pick up on it. And I've always just been myself from the start. So that's my number one piece of advice to anyone starting a YouTube channel, or perhaps you've started already, is be yourself, be unique, and don't copy anyone else. And that way you'll grow your channel organically. And that's the best way. I thought the question is, should I have stayed in Pattaya, Owl? It is, and I'm definitely going to answer that before the end of the vlog. But in order to answer it, easy for me to say, let's get a drink, we need to analyse it. So we've covered the money situation. Yeah, the what if I stayed out there, I'll never know, but I do know what I'm earning at the minute. The next on the list is health. And since being back in this 5 months, I've had a detailed eye test, which of course picked up a little bit of a birthmark on the right eye, or whatever the actual technical term is. So that's not really necessarily a major issue unless that was to change, that mark in the eye was to change. But you know, having them checks can be done in Thailand or England, so we'll put the eye test aside. Eye tests can happen anywhere in the world. Same with dental. I've had dental issues as well, having to have the bridge refitted, and again, that could have been done in Pattaya. And I know a lot of you guys have had dental work in Pattaya, Thailand, and said it was absolutely first class. So eye test, dental work, Pattaya, England is what it is. That's not going to affect my decision or my answer to the question, should I have stayed in Pattaya? Of course, you could say that about all the medical side of things. The medical care in Thailand is amazing, first class. There's some great hospitals. I've been told, again, I've not actually been in one, but I've been told there's some great ones in Pattaya as well. And of course, recently I had the full kind of 40-year-old MOT, full blood tests, blood pressure, height, weight, all of that good stuff. And it identified from all of that the liver numbers had improved. However, the cholesterol, the fat in the blood, needs to be reduced by 40%. And that test didn't cost me anything directly. Of course, I pay through my taxes, the NHS. But yeah, I don't know how much that would have cost in Pattaya to have the full bloods. I'm going to make a guess at maybe £100 English pound. I don't know, but let me know in the comments. That's what I like about doing vlogs for you guys and live shows. If the owl doesn't know the answer, I'll put out a question to you guys and you can pop it below. But I imagine for a full liver, kidney, full blood count, all of that good stuff I did on the last vlog. If you've not seen it, check it out, or one of the last vlogs. It'd be about 100 English pounds, I imagine. But that would vary depending on where you go, which hospital, which doctors, etc. And like I've mentioned on previous vlogs, I'm very proud to be English. And, you know, I've never slagged off the country that I'm from, even when I was doing an attempted move to Thailand. It's not my style. Of course, no country is perfect. What I will say is a big thank you to the NHS for the service they provided to me, you know, offering me in the first place, providing the whole blood tests and the friendly environment, and then giving me the results within a couple of days via the app. I didn't even have to phone up. It was all there. All the results were there. Then they did a courtesy call just to say, okay, cholesterol's high. This is what we're going to do about it. So I can't ask for anything more from the NHS on my most recent experience. So yeah, very, very happy indeed. So really, I mean, if we look at the health thing, just to summarise it, the services that I've had, you know, I've had to pay for my dental, I've had to pay for the eye test. However, I didn't have to pay for the NHS blood full blood check and all that service. So the difference being that cost of having that health full MOT is the difference. Of course, out of them two I've just covered, money and health, obviously health is the most important one. Health is literally wealth. And wherever I am in the world, if that be England or Pattaya, Thailand, I'd want to know the data. I'd want to get checked up. I'd want to monitor it. I'd be having annual checks wherever I am. Obviously, being in Thailand, I will have to pay for that, but it's not a massive amount of money, I don't think, to have initial tests. Of course, it might get a little bit more expensive, and this is where insurance, medical insurance can come in, or travel insurance in my case, when you need to start having treatment operations, etc. Because of course in England, for you guys who don't know, because I know we get viewers from all over the world, we pay through our taxes indirectly, so the NHS is a free service, so to speak. Technically not free, we are paying for it indirectly, but it is free. We don't have to pay there and then for a service, which, you know, I'm massively grateful for, and always will be, and I hope it remains the way it is. And to be honest with you, I won't mind paying a little bit if that keeps the NHS going, functioning and all that, but I'm not going to get into politics and all that stuff. Just on the topic of insurance, I have got a multi-trip travel insurance, about £120 for the year with the post office, which covers me for going multiple trips to Pattaya. And of course, if I was out there living, it would have to be medical insurance, which could be and probably is a lot more expensive than just £120. It will be, definitely. So this is the kind of vlog, really, I should have done way back when I did the vlog around should I move to Pattaya. I don't know if you can remember that vlog. I might even have been wearing the same shirt, because it's all right saying, yep, I should move to Pattaya, because that's what the driving emotion is to do, because I love Pattaya. It's amazing. It's the best place in the world, as I've said lots of times. However, it's the devil's in the detail. You know, how much money are you actually going to be earning? How much do you actually need? Healthcare. What happens if it goes wrong? Is your insurance going to cover you? Existing medical conditions? You know, you're essentially walking away from the NHS treatment, and all of this stuff is important. Well, if you've not fallen asleep at this point, thank you very much. Next on the list is partying, entertainment. And boy, do we love the entertainment of Pattaya. It's amazing, and I cannot wait to get myself to Soy Buakhao, work my way around all over the place. LK Metro, Soy 7, Soy 6, Walking Street, just to name a few. I say Walking Street, that's not my favourite place, by the way. I do like Soy Diamond, do like Lucifer on there as well. But most of my fun happens, I say, LK Metro, Soy Buakhao. Not bad at all, is it? So, partying, not doing any of it in England. I've had one night out with work colleagues, which was great. A really good night, lots of beers, lots of laughter, nice meal, super. That's one night in 5 months. And before that, a couple of beers down in Cornwall. So there is no partying, there is no entertainment, there is no crazy spend, there is no temptation. I can't think of anything worse of going out every night around here or anywhere in England. You know, even if I was in London city centre, I wouldn't want to go out every night. It's not the same. Nowhere is the same as Pattaya, Thailand. It is very special, very unique. And of course, when I went out there on the attempted move, I think for the first 21 days, I was out for 21 nights. And of course, that impacts money and impacts health, the other categories. So partying, it's much more fun in Pattaya, and that's why I'm going back very soon. And I will be doing videos as much as I can around kind of the odd back roll and all that good stuff. But yeah, partying doesn't happen in England, and doesn't really sway my decision. It wouldn't be sensible for me to sway my decision should I have stayed in Pattaya, purely based on the entertainment. And the final category for this vlog, and of course, if you think I should include even more categories in my decision to answer the question, should I have stayed in Pattaya, drop them in the comments, as well as your opinion on everything I've discussed so far, but also on your answer to the question, what you think my answer should be, should I have stayed in Pattaya. But the last category is food. So God, do I miss the food in Pattaya? You know, the Eat Street, Robin Hood, Mambo Yo-Yo, all of these amazing places to eat. Hippie Cafe in Pratumnak, the chicken Penang, the chicken pad thai, the pork kapow. Can't even speak. I'm that excited. Food for me is off the scale in terms of taste overload. Amazing price point. Uh, Smashes uh, my home in England out of the water in terms of the food on offer, the value from the food offering as well. So amazing food and amazing price equals amazing value. So on food alone, if that was the only category, my God, I should have stayed in Pattaya. So the time has come within the vlog to answer the question, should I have stayed in Pattaya? And of course, we've looked at a number of categories, about four. One being money, so that's money coming in, money going out, comparing what I'm getting now here in England to what I was getting or potentially could have got, which is difficult, in Pattaya. So considering that, as well as health. So my current health, future health, travel insurance, medical insurance, the treatment I've had within the last 5 months, any treatment I've had in Thailand, which hasn't been any actually. I've never had to use any touchwood in Thailand. And of course, partying, the lack of it here in England compared to what I was partying entertainment wise. And the last one being food as well. And as I've just mentioned on the food, Pattaya wins on the food in terms of cost and the deliciousness of it. Should I have stayed in Pattaya? No. Therefore, my decision to come home when I did in May, 5 months ago roughly, was the right decision based on where I am now today with the data that I've got. The reality is, I don't think I would have made enough money to stay out there. I think my health would have been worse than it is now if I stayed out there because of the third category, which is partying, entertainment, enjoying that every day, if not every day, at least 2 or 3 days a week, which still is excessive on a monthly basis. 369, 12 days a month compared to the zero I'm doing at the minute. Food, of course, the decision, as I said before, would definitely be stay in Pattaya. But then three categories around money, health, and entertainment is the reasons why I've made the right decision. However, going there on a holiday where you're not worried about a budget, 2 weeks of fun and enjoyment, you're less worried about health. Of course, you're always conscious not to overdo it, but longer term health, you're less worried about a blowout over a couple of weeks. And of course, then the party, and it doesn't matter if you want to go out every night because you're on holiday. So it was the right decision to come home, and it's also the right decision to do trips to Pattaya where I can earn the money in England, where I can have the healthcare in England, but I can go out to Pattaya, be a 2 week, 3 week millionaire, enjoy myself, party away, and enjoy that all important food. And that's as it stands today in September 2025, just before I go to Pattaya for the fifth time. So there we have it. I've analysed it properly. I've done it properly this time. And drop your comments below. And I wish I did this kind of analysis way back when I asked you the question, how many months ago? 10 months ago. Should I move to Pattaya? Of course, the devil is in the details. So I've clearly learned a bit along the way. So if you've enjoyed this little vlog, give us a thumbs up, share, comment. If you've not already, please subscribe. Your support means the world. And of course, catch the next live show, which will be the 28th of September. That'll be the pre-trip live show. Meetup night on the 3rd of October at the cave, 8 p.m. And there will be bangers, I've been promised. And there we have it. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.